How is it going, everybody? This is RBT coming at you with my Tostitos Fiesta Bowl preview / prediction video. This will be played on New Year's Day, January 1st, 2014 at 7:30 Central Time between UCF, Central Florida, and the Baylor Bears. Both are champions of their conference. UCF, the champions of the American Athletic Conference, and Baylor is the champions of the Big 12. UCF doesn't get a specific bowl tie-in, but since they're the champions of the American Athletic Conference, they get an automatic bid. But they didn't know which bowl they're going to go to. Fiesta Bowl gets the last pick, so they were the Fiesta Bowl was stuck with Central Florida, and don't let that fool you because Central Florida is a heck of a team. They really are. It's actually the last year the AAC gets a automatic bid as the former Big East. So last year they get one, but they hit it pretty strong this last season because they had some really bad teams in the conference, but the top couple in the conference, Cincinnati, Louisville, and UCF, they were all a bunch of very, very good quality teams. So I'm glad to see that conference still get automatic bids. I think they deserve it. I really do. And Central Florida is a heck of a team, like I said. It might sound really improbable, but if Central Florida beats South Carolina, they're really right now they're 3 points away from being undefeated. But if they beat South Carolina, there could have been a great argument, and it's a possibility that Central Florida could have made the national championship game. They would have gone undefeated. Everything went their way, and that's what they needed to happen. Is all the teams lost. They would have been the only other undefeated team. So, kind of unlucky that they lost to South Carolina because that would have been a great argument. Florida State versus Central Florida in the national championship game, which who knows what could have happened there. But it's a solid team. Don't let their kind of small brand name fool you because they're a heck of a team. They actually have. I was considering going to Central Florida because I wanted to go to a college with a large enrollment, and they have like a top 5, I believe, enrollment rate in the country. Like I think over 30,000 are enrolled at Central Florida, which I really want to go. I didn't want to go to a campus with a small student population. I want to go to a large because I can't really fit into a small population. But Central Florida is a really good team led by Blake Bortles, who is one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the country. A heck of a player. He's actually projected to be the number 2 quarterback pick right now in the NFL draft if he decides to come out as a junior. They have a really good running back with a really good name. You get Storm Johnson. There's 2 Storms. There's a Storm Woods for Oregon State and a Storm Johnson for Central Florida, but they're 2 very good running backs. But Storm Johnson's the one for Central Florida. I always get them mixed up. But he ran for over 1,000 yards on the year, 11 touchdowns, and Rasheed Hall and Perryman, 2 really good receivers, over 700 yards each. But it's no joke that this team is 11-1, the champions of their conference, because they're very solid, a very solid defense, only giving up 19 points a game. And I mean, they beat some quality teams. They beat a Penn State. They beat Louisville. They beat one of the most underrated teams in the country in Houston. And they took care of business down the road. I think they struggled the last couple weeks, or really the last month of the season, but they got there. That's all that matters. The thing is, I guess as a team in Central Florida, you never really been there before. So, due to the fact that they were I'm not sure if they're trying to over prepare or try too hard because they wanted to get there so fast, and they were, I guess you could say, nervous and didn't want to blow it. So they almost lost to SMU, came close to losing against South Florida, had to have late comebacks against both teams, but all that matters is that they won. And now they're there. They don't have to worry about that. There's no pressure. That was the word I was looking for. They had no pressure now. They're there. They're able to play on a national stage in front of a really good team, playing against a really good team. So they're there. It's going to be a fun game. Now on Baylor's side, we all know what happened. They have one of the most prolific offenses in the country. Actually scored 53 points a game, this season. Ended up 12th in the country, 265 rushing yards a game, and 5th in the country, 360 yards a game throwing the football. The defense is one of the most overrated aspects on their team, only giving up 21 points a game. It's 19th in the country, and I said UCF gave up 19 points a game. That was their 13th in the country. But this is the Baylor team that started the season and absolutely wowed everybody. I think through the Texas Tech game, they've been averaging 60 points a game. And they hit the Oklahoma State and kind of laid an egg. I don't really know what happened there. I think if you play that game again, it's a lot closer than 49-17. But they lost, and if they don't lose that game, kind of like Central Florida, if they don't lose the Oklahoma State game, they might be. They probably are in the national championship right now. But ever since the Oklahoma State game, their offense has kind of dwindled down a little bit, and they're still averaging like 30 points a game or in the high 20s. So when you say your offense has really struggled and you're still averaging in the 20s, that's pretty solid. But the thing is, their defense is really solid. They really are. They kind of struggled in the Oklahoma State game, but aside from that, their defense is playing really well. I mean, led by Bryce Petty, who's had an absolute amazing season. I'm not sure if he broke RG3's records or Nick Florence's record. He actually broke RG3's records at Baylor, school records. But if he didn't, he came really close, which I think he did, but I'm not sure. But they have also a stable running backs that are very, very talented, led by Lachey Seastrunk. I hear people can pronounce it differently all the time, Lachey or Lake Seastrunk. But aside from that, they have Shock Linwood, a very good freshman running back who put up over 800 yards this season and 8 touchdowns. So they have talent all over the field. Not to mention the receivers, Tevin Reese, very talented running back. I mean, wide receiver, and Antoine Goodley. Both kind of, I guess you could say, kind of slot type receivers, but they're still fast. They have speed all over the field, prolific offense, and it's just a very talented team. So I mean, they beat an Oklahoma 41-12. I knew something was going on with this team because before the season, I thought Baylor had a chance to lose their third game in the season against Louisiana Monroe. I was really big on Louisiana Monroe coming into the season. They brought back about everybody from last year's team when they shocked the country so many times. And I thought it would be a good game at least. Baylor beat Louisiana Monroe 70-7. That really did shock me. That's when I knew that this team was for real and that they were going to go a long way this season. They finally won the Big 12, and they're in a bowl game where they a BCS bowl where they deserve. And they kind of had to rely on Oklahoma State a little bit. If Oklahoma State doesn't lose that game against Oklahoma the last week of the season, they're not in a BCS bowl, probably not. But now they are. They have the stage, and they have a chance to show everybody that they're for real. And they will have the chance to do so because this is two 11-1 teams. I think this might be, aside from the national championship, the best two records going at it in a bowl game. And this might be considered by some to be the worst bowl game out there, and I think it's going to be an absolutely awesome game. People that think Central Florida can go in there and get rolled out of the water, I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, everybody's doubting Central Florida. I mean, people just think about Central Florida as a directional school. Why are they in the BCS Bowl? Because they're a very good team. That's why. They proved it throughout the season. They proved they're resilient to all adversity. They go in front of an SMU crowd. They need to win to win the conference. And well, not necessarily, but to stay ranked. They needed that win, and they're in front of about 50 fans. It was horrible weather, and they come out, struggle, but they come out and find a way to win against a decent SMU team. So they're just a resilient team that never gives up. I mean, you saw that against South Carolina. They fought to the very last minute. I mean, they came out to a huge lead. South Carolina came roaring back, but they were in it to the very last minute. And they very easily could have won that game, and that probably could have propelled them to way up in their standings, like I said. But when it comes down to this game, I think it comes down to which defense plays better. I think both offenses will put up some points, but which defense is going to make the one turnover and that one big play, maybe a special teams play that will really, really set the table and give the other team the advantage. So, or give their team the advantage. Because I really do expect both offenses to score a good bit. I've seen predictions, people saying Baylor's going to win this game 70-30, something like that. No, it's not going to be like that. I think both teams are going to score in the 40s, and it's going to be a heck of a game. I really expect these two quarterbacks to come out on a big stage and play a big game. Bryce Petty's kind of laid an egg when he's been on the national stage this season, aka the Oklahoma State game. Didn't play too terribly well in the Texas game, but the defense came up big. And when I look at both schedules, I think I'm going to go with Baylor. Yes, going with the team projected to win, but not because I think it's going to be a huge blowout. I just think when you come down to the two defenses, Baylor has proved themselves more than Central Florida, and I just think Bryce Petty will make a couple more plays than Central Florida's defense will. Well, I think Bryce Petty will make a couple more plays against Central Florida's defense than Blake Bortles will against Baylor's defense. Though I do believe Blake Bortles is the better quarterback in both these in this game, but it comes down to which defenses are better. Yes, I know UCF is statistically better, but I just expect Baylor to make a few more plays than UCF does in the long run. So it's going to be a fun game. Two really good running backs on the team, two very good quarterbacks, a bunch of solid receivers, two solid defenses. So if you're somebody that's overlooking this bowl game as something that's just going to be a blowout or it's not going to be a fun game to watch, this might be the most fun bowl game to watch. The BCS bowl game to watch this season. So if I had to come with the final score, I'll say Baylor 45, Central Florida 42 in this one. Central Florida could come out, surprise me. It just comes down, like I said, to which quarterback makes some more plays against the defenses, because I think it's going to be a solid game. I know the defenses I said are solid, but the offenses are really good too, and I think with a month to prepare, they're going to find ways to score some points. Might take some trick plays. I expect both these coaches to leave it all on the line here, because this is the biggest game, arguably the biggest game for both programs in their school history. And it probably is. So they're wanting to get that win. They're going to pull out all the strings. So expect a fun game in this one. So like I said, Baylor 45, UCF 42. So that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please comment below with your prediction for this game. Let me know who you think is going to win. Let me know what you thought about the video and my prediction. So please follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/S3RTR if you haven't already. And please stay tuned and subscribe to my channel, like I said, because I'm coming out with predictions of all the BCS bowls and stuff like that. I'm going to be covering all the bowl games this season after they conclude. I already made a video talking about my all my bowl predictions, so make sure to check that out if you haven't already. So I guess that is it. I feel like I'm not Oh, I was going to say that about the rest of the BCS bowl predictions. I'm going to take my last final. I should be gone now, but I'm going to take my last final. Once that's over, I'm going to come back today and I'm going to make the rest of the videos. I think there's only two I need to make. I think I need to make the Orange Bowl and the Rose Bowl, and I'm done. So I'll probably finish that today. So I'll probably upload those two videos when I get back. I got to make them first. So I wanted to make this one before I left, though. So that's it, guys. I'll see you guys later today. And if this is the last video you're watching me, be sure to subscribe so it's not the last video you're watching me. So that's it. I hope you enjoy your holiday season. Merry Christmas to you. And until you see me again, peace.